Hello everyone, welcome back. I am Jenny, and today I'm super excited because I'm going to show you a free accounting tool that I made and I want to share with you all. This is something that could be helpful for anybody that has a small business, even if it's just a side hustle, anybody that needs to pay taxes on business income that they make in a self-employed kind of way. So just a reminder, though I am trained as a therapist and a clinical supervisor, I'm not representing myself as either of those things in these videos, and I'm also definitely not a lawyer or an accountant. So if you need those things, definitely go get somebody that is an expert that can do those things for you. But here, I'm hoping to at least just give you some helpful information to get you started. If you do find that it is helpful, consider liking it, subscribing to it, maybe even sharing it with other people so more people can enjoy it. So a few videos back, I had talked about how it's important to separate out your business finances from your personal finances. And today I'm going to show you a tool basically that I made through Google Sheets that helps you not only to separate, to have something basically to put all of your business financial information into, but it also separates it out depending on the IRS's categories that they have. So I want to show you where that information is so you can get the resources kind of straight from the original source. And then I also will show you the tool. So that's what we're going to do today. So this is a publication from the IRS called the Tax Guide for Small Businesses, Business Expenses. There's other expenses that you can deduct in addition to the ones that are on the earlier pages. And there's expenses that you cannot deduct. And so that is where I got the information from to go ahead and make the accounting tool that I'm going to show you. The other thing that I wanted to show you, we can look at this more in another video that is specific to taxes, but Schedule C is the form that we put all of the information into as far as the business stuff. So there's our information on our income and then our expenses. And you can see with the expenses, there's the list again, from advertising all the way down to wages if you had other employees that were working for you, and other expenses. And then this is the actual free tool that I wanted to share with you all. And it's from a Google Sheet. So I'm going to make it so that when you get the link, it's going to force you to make a copy. So then it'll be your very own. Nobody else can overwrite it or anything. But on this first sheet here that you can see at the bottom is called the balance sheet. We've got all of those same categories that were listed in those original source documents. The Schedule C and the small business publication from the IRS. And what I actually did is many of these cells in the middle here are a formula so that it automatically pulls in data from each of the sheets. So let's actually look at one of the sheets. Let's look at January here. So here we're on January. And you can see that for the category column, there's actually some drop-down options, and these are the same options as what we saw on the Schedule C and that IRS small business publication. And I just put some examples in the business name. Some of these are actually things that I use. I do have a Google Suite. I do use Simple Practice. I also do give myself a paycheck because I have an S Corp and I have to do that. And then I do get paid from things like Headway, Stripe. When I have clients who pay me with credit card, I use Stripe through Simple Practice. And then you can see some of the things that liability insurance, Psychology Today for marketing. IKEA is where I went to get some office furniture and sometimes office supplies. So I tried to give you a few examples so you just have a sense for what category to put different things into. Pezi here is a great resource, by the way, for getting different kinds of professional developments and trainings. So you can just put in the date, the business name, the category, the amount, and then it'll automatically give you a running balance here. And then off to the side here, it has those categories again from the IRS with a little bit of explanation in column G about what those categories are. Column H is really just there so that it'll make the calculations work easier in column I. And then column I is where it just will automatically sum up for you. So there you can kind of see it's just automatically putting in all the calculations for you, so you can see for that month kind of a snapshot of how much you are spending in different categories. And then there's also the automatic totaling that is done here in cell I-14. And then the deposits are automatically also calculated. And then in the highlighted row 16, you can see the balance. This SEP IRA row is there just because you may want to have something. You may want to do a solo 401k or a SEP IRA or these different things that you can do as a self-employed person to give yourself kind of like the equivalent of a 401k or a 403b, these retirement accounts that you can set up. So, and it's just another way to save money on taxes as well, because then of course that money that you put into something like a SEP IRA or a solo 401k gets to be put in there before you have to pay taxes. So you don't have to show it as income when you're paying your taxes. Of course, you will have to pay the taxes on it eventually. And if you wanted to get a Roth version of one of these things, then you'd be paying the taxes on it first. So I'll probably do a video that goes into more detail about some things related to taxes. But of course, you can also talk to someone who is a tax expert and get everything answered that way. And then I also put an example of taxes in there, and then you could see what's left after doing all those other things. This worksheet tab is where I basically just take everything for a month and I put it into the worksheet tab, so then it gives me a running total with the balance for the entire year. It's just another way that I can have that information. Sometimes it's helpful for me to do that, and then I can do things like once I have information in here for more than 1 month, then I can go to the category, for example, and I can sort it by category. And then I'd be able to look and see, okay, how much am I actually spending for the year on something like marketing or whatever I wanted to look at, or taxes. So Then you'll see here on the balance sheet what was spent for each of the totals, what the balance is. And I did separate out rental income. For many of you, you won't have rental income anyways, but you might. I do have rental income, and the reason that I have it is because I am the person who was willing to sign the commercial lease with the property manager to have the suite of offices that then I share with several other people, and they pay me. So I'm getting income from them. I'm also paying rent. As you can see, there's the category rent paid. So that's separated out. But your rental income needs to go on something called Schedule E rather than Schedule C. And so it just needs to be separated out. Long story short. So that's why that's there. And then I have the categories with the descriptions again down here just to help remind me and in case that's helpful for you. And then you can go over to the right and scroll over and you can see things like the monthly average. So that, and then the last columns here are going to show you the year to date totals. And so that can be helpful to see, okay, where are we at so far? You can also put in expected future monthly expenses, so that can help you just with planning. And then there's the column here for the percentage of the total, so you can kind of look and see how much, which categories am I really spending the most on out of all of them. And you can see the total amounts of deposits. And then of course the net here and the rental income, if that's something that even applies to you. But basically that's how I use this. And so you can take this, and of course there's all the mock data that is in there, but you can just overwrite that with your own stuff. You can erase these things. I just wanted to have stuff in there so that you'd be able to see what it ends up looking like in the end. And then you can come back and you can look at this, and it can help you with, like I said before, planning and also just figuring out taxes. When I go to do my Schedule C and tax information that I need, when I come here, I can just get everything pretty easily right here. So it does save time, makes it easier when it comes to taxes. So that really just shows you the free accounting tool. And as I've said in previous videos, it's very helpful to separate out all of your business from your personal expenses and income. And one way to do that is to get a separate banking account and potentially also a business credit card. And that way it's just really easy to know what's business and what's personal. I also wanted to mention that I prefer to use checking account and credit card for business as much as possible and stay away from cash transactions wherever I can. And sometimes you might have to use cash. It's important in that case to keep your receipts, and I like to keep everything electronic. So what I do is I just would take a picture of it or scan it and put it into a Google Drive file folder. And in the next video, we're going to take a look at getting malpractice insurance, which is important to do before you see your first client. And if you found anything in this video useful, please like and subscribe, share it so other people can get to it as well. And I really do hope that this free tool can be helpful for folks. Also, let me know in the comments what else you'd like and how the tool's working for you, if there's anything that you would like for me to do to help make it work better. And then until next time, just remember, you have options and opportunities. See you soon.